my brother announced that I was adopted at the family reunion because I refused to sign over Grandpa's house. Everyone gasped until I showed them the real documents proving he's the one who isn't blood related. The air in the lakeside pavilion was thick with humidity and the smell of smoked ribs, but the atmosphere had curdled. It was the annual family reunion, and for the last hour, my older brother, Marcus, had monopolized the seating area, his voice a low, insistent snarl that everyone pretended not to hear. The subject, as always, was Grandpa's house. It's simple, Alex, Marcus insisted, leaning so close I could smell the expensive scotch on his breath. Sign the release. Sell the place. Split the equity. You don't need a cabin you never visit, and I need the capital for my firm. Be a good brother. I shook my head, my jaw tight. I've told you no, Marcus. Grandpa left it to me because he knew I wouldn't sell it. It stays in the family. It stays undeveloped. He laughed, a sharp, ugly sound that cut through the buzz of conversation nearby. He stood up, towering over me, and decided to escalate things in front of the dozens of assembled cousins, aunts, and uncles. The music seemed to die. Oh, you want to talk about what Grandpa knew? Marcus's voice boomed, loud enough to stop the carving of the turkey. Fine, let's talk about family. Let's talk about belonging. He pointed a finger, thick with rings, directly at my chest. You think you deserve to dictate the future of this family's legacy? You should be grateful you're even here. You're adopted, Alex. You have no blood right to that house. You're not one of us. A collective, audible gasp swept across the pavilion. My mother dropped her wine glass, the liquid staining the white tablecloth. Aunt Carol covered her mouth. Silence settled over the 100-year-old feud, heavy and absolute. Marcus had finally delivered the nuclear option, and he looked smugly satisfied. I felt the blood drain from my face, but only for a second. This was the moment. I had prepared for the reason. Grandpa had insisted on the lawyer's visit right before he passed. I reached slowly into the inside pocket of my jacket. I pulled out a crisp, sealed manila envelope labeled to Alex. For the right moment. You're absolutely correct. Marcus, I said, my voice dangerously calm, the low volume forcing everyone to lean in. I am not my parents' biological child. I was adopted at 6 months old, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I broke the seal with a deliberate rip. The sounds seemed deafening, but since we're talking about blood rights and documents, I continued, pulling out a set of official, notarized papers. Grandpa gave me these, too. He knew you'd pull the stunt one day, and he wanted me to set the record straight. I held up the first document, a certified copy of a birth record for my brother, Marcus, and attached to it a 1980 hospital record and ID and a report from 3 months ago. These documents, I announced, scanning the shocked faces, are why Grandpa specifically willed the cabin to me. They confirmed that when Marcus was 4, our parents discovered a clerical error. A name on a birth certificate was mismatched, leading to a decade of confusion. I let the documents sink in before reading the final, devastating line from the DNA panel. Based on the submitted samples, the genetic relationship between father's name and Marcus ... is 0.0%. Marcus is not biologically related to this family. The second, even louder gasp that swept the room was one of total bewilderment. Marcus's face, which moments before had been triumphant, went slack, turning a sickening gray. He stumbled back, knocking a chair over. It wasn't me who was adopted, Marcus. I finished, folding the papers with clinical precision. It was you. And Grandpa left the house to the person he knew would protect the family, whether by blood or by choice. And that person wasn't you.